What's going on, guys? Hey, a little bit of a longer form video here. Just chatting up while I'm driving here. Still, oh man, how busy I am despite the fact that I'm technically on vacation is crazy. So I wanted to address something I've been seeing in the comments here. I've been reading through my comments as they've been coming through throughout the day, and a lot of people are talking about my baby metal videos that I posted. Both the three songs that I recorded while at the show last night, and my short that's kind of a review for my first time ever seeing the band, which, by the way, if you missed the short, I freaking adored it. They were amazing. They sounded great. Stu Metal's voice was towering in that place. The venue itself has some really, really good acoustics, and everything just sounded so clear and so good for that whole show. They brought energy, and it really made me hope that one of these days I get to actually go to Japan and see one of their shows live over there, because I know that, we got a small venue here that we saw them in. The place only holds a total of 4,000 people when it's sold out. I want to see one of these arena shows that they put on, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that Japan thing happens either through YouTube becoming big enough for me to where I can actually start to afford to do stuff like that, or I don't know, I've been in talks about promotions and shit at my actual job, so and if that ever comes through, the increased finances there would allow me to actually consider traveling the way that I want to. And of course, I'd bring you all along with me, doing travel vlogs and stuff. But anyway, I'm rambling here a bit, and I apologize for that. A lot of the comments I've been seeing about the concert last night was how disappointing the crowd was. That people were sitting on their hands and would only cheer after the song and stuff like that. Number one, I think there needs to be some context here. Since COVID ended, or, the lockdowns ended and concerts came back, since that point, I have seen Starset, Between the Buried and Me, Trivium, Lamb of God, Killswitch Engage, Pantera, Mudvayne, Cold Chamber. I went to Sonic Temple this past year, and now I've seen BABYMETAL and Death Clock last night. That's where my experience is coming from. And one thing I can say that I have noticed since concerts came back from lockdown and we're in a post-COVID world is that things have changed. No crowd that I've seen, and it's not just here in Pittsburgh. I've been to shows out of town too, in Ohio, and other places as well. No crowd seems as lively as it used to be. It's like some kind of apprehension to get as rowdy as we used to be. I think people are more introverted now after spending so much time where they were just in their own homes, sitting there by themselves. That might be part of it. The other part of it too is that I'd like to think that, at least for myself, the change that I made for with COVID is that time and experience means so much more to me. It made me realize how much every hour of every day is truly worth. And even myself at concerts, I tend to be more in a mood to try to absorb as much as the atmosphere and take in as much as I possibly can. And it's harder to do that whenever you're moshing, trying to catch crowd surfers, stuff like that. It's harder to just kind of sit there and take a step back and absorb it all in. So I have noticed there is a distinct change, and I think it's kind of a mixture between people forgot how to act in public and forgot how to let loose, But I also think there's a part of it that's people are like me, where they're like, hey, let me just focus in on this and really pay attention to the music, the choreography. I mean, I don't mind telling you, there was a couple moments during BABYMETAL's set last night, I got chills, like, during their set. Like, I was like, oh my god, it's just, there's something about this that's so cool. It's so unique, so different than any other concert I've ever been to. And so I really, really enjoyed it. So, now with that context in mind, I want to talk about specifically the crowd from last night. All that being said, last night, and this includes, up until last night, the loudest crowd I had seen post-COVID, the loudest, most vocal crowd was Pantera. I think BABYMETAL and Deathclock, both of them, took it last night. It was a much smaller crowd. That crowd, when they did make noise, was loud as hell, and it was impressive. Also, about the whole sitting on their hands, you had the people in the stands, which I was one of them, so I can tell you, wasn't a lot of room to move around in those seats. So that's part of the problem with that particular venue. But there was a mosh pit going on down in the pit the entire time for BABYMETAL's set. I think the only time that the people stopped moshing were during the two times that Sue actually gave instructions. One of them was when we got the lights out during Monochrome. And I can't remember what song it was, but there was a song where she had the crowd kind of get down and squat down. So, which, by the way, especially for someone who is not a native English speaker, her crowd control and presence and ambiance was so good. And the fact that they are not imposing figures. I mean, one of the first things that struck to me about them, because even in the videos doesn't do justice to how close I was to the stage. It looked further back in the video for some reason than I actually was. The first thing that struck me was, like, these girls are kind of tiny. They're the very, very small girls. I was like, wow, that, like, I was actually expecting them to be a little bit taller, and I know there's a cliche thing about Japanese people not being very tall, but they have such a commanding presence, and especially Sue's voice, that the amount of power she has behind it, you expect there to be a little bit more there of a human there. So that will really show. So she has really, really, really good crowd presence and control. And I don't think it was a bad crowd. I think another thing that might be coming into last night's show in particular, especially as I was just talking to random people walking to and from the venue and even in the venue, there was a lot of Deathclock fans there. Now, I'm a Deathclock fan. I've been a Deathclock fan for longer than I've been a BABYMETAL fan. I've been a Deathclock fan since the first season of Metalocalypse came out. Like, that's my shit. I was looking forward to seeing them. This was like a double hitter for me. Like, oh, cool. These are two bands I really want to see that I've never seen before. I get to actually see. So it was really cool for me. But I think a lot of that crowd didn't know what to expect with BABYMETAL, and that might have taken them back a little bit. Because I know for me, like, the first song I heard by them was Gimme Chocolate. Unfortunately, you can't see that video on my YouTube anymore because it is blocked as hell. It's completely blocked, and you cannot see that video anymore. But my reaction to that video was not a good reaction. I did not enjoy it. Now, what's funny is I actually enjoy the song itself. Now, they played it last night, and I enjoyed watching them play it. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. My defense of the crowd last night. I don't think this was a bad crowd. I think this was a typical, not even a typical post-COVID crowd. I think this is a better than average post-COVID crowd that we had last night. And, I don't know, for the people in the comments, like, I understand, like, maybe you wanted more energy in the crowd and everything than what there was. You want things to go back to the way they were. That's how you enjoy things. But at the same time, man, you gotta let people enjoy music the way that they want to. And don't let the crowd not acting the exact way that you want them to ruin the show and the experience for you. You know what I mean? Like, you're there for you. You enjoy that. You don't let the people around you ruin that for you. So, I hope those of you that were disappointed with the crowd, I hope you still at least enjoyed seeing BABYMETAL. I hope that some of the people in the comments are wrong. I hope they come back to Pittsburgh. I hope they get a true headliner tour at some point, and I hope they get to play a bigger venue. I'd love to see them at like Stage AE or something like that. I think they could fill that place up pretty easily, and it's a pretty decent venue, actually. So, but anyway, guys, I appreciate all the comments and the support that we've been getting on all those videos. It's been fun reminding me what it was like when I was uploading BABYMETAL videos a lot. Man, my analytics last night just shot up from what the average has been the past few months without me touching on BABYMETAL for a while. So, I don't know. I might be bringing some music reactions back again eventually here. I don't think it'll be an everyday thing like it was before, because I do want the primary focus of the channel to be video games. But one of my series is not really catching on all that well, so I'm thinking I might replace that and at least have one day per week where we're doing a music reaction. I still have my list of requests that I got from you guys, so I have a whole list, and I don't know, I'm thinking about bringing them back. We'll see how that goes, but it definitely won't be an everyday thing like it was before, because I was just getting burnt out on that. So, but yeah, guys, let me know if you agree with my assessment on the crowd down in the comments. Let me know. I love hearing from you guys who were there last night. In fact, believe it or not, I stopped by a gas station earlier to get an energy drink, and the cashier, the one cashier, saw me wearing, I got this BABYMETAL shirt at the show last night. She saw it, she's like, oh, we were there too. So it's kind of cool knowing how many of you are you're right in my neighborhood. That's really cool. So, but guys, I'm gonna get out of here. As you can see, I'm driving. I'm heading out to spend some time with some friends. I hope everyone out there has a good Saturday. You take care of yourselves. And I will see you next time. Peace.